January 1st, 2025. The world demanded answers, and I was the only one who could deliver. I had to choose my words carefully. One wrong keystroke, and it could all fall apart. Would they believe me? Could I finally put the rumors to rest? Only one way to find out. The questions were answered. The people were satisfied. But my work is never done.
Hey everyone, today we're going to go through the Reddit AMA post that I made. That thing popped off, you guys went crazy. I was not expecting it to be as popular as it was, and still is. It's gotten over 1 million views in just a couple days, which is just crazy. You guys left a lot of great questions, so thank you, and comments. You guys have been really supportive. Some of you even reached out to me, and we've had some cool conversations, so thank you. It's really heartwarming to know that so much joy was brought out of this whole thing, because it did not bring me joy until now, but yeah, so today we're gonna go some questions. I already said that, but I know in the last video, I said I was gonna have to go through the whole thread, but there's just no way. There's way too many questions, but yeah, we're just gonna go through the good ones. I gotta get better at speaking. I'm really bad at this, but we're gonna pick out some good questions and we'll go through them. So let's get into it. I'm gonna put the questions up here to cover up the drywall that I slapped up there when the ceiling collapsed. I got a new roof a few years ago, but yeah, that's still like that. So we're just gonna cover it up, you know. Most people would probably put the questions down here, but we're different. All right, our first question here is from Cordyceps. Thank you so much for your question. Hello, Burger King foot lettuce guy. My grudge against you has no grounds if you never served people said lettuce and this wasn't something you always did. We all do stupid things when we were kids without thinking about it. Very true. What's it like to be low-key famous but in a bad way? I said, I'd imagine anyone who did this would say that they didn't serve the lettuce, but many people know who I am. I wouldn't reveal myself if I had actually served it, and likely legal action would have been taken. It's interesting, even though it's infamy, which I don't even think that's true at this point, after seeing how much support you guys have given me. I don't know if it's infamy, but even though it's infamy, it's often surreal knowing that this actually happened. I've hid from this for a very long time, so when it resurfaces in my life, whether from a friend mentioning it or seeing it on social media, I have moments where I'm like, wow, this is crazy that this actually happened. Which, honestly, sometimes when I see it, I feel like I lived another life, or I lived in a different universe or something. Not in like a psychotic way, but just in a surreal way. It's really interesting. I thought the meme would die down over the years, but at this point, I think it's cemented in internet history. And that last sentence is really hard for me to admit, but it's objectively true. Just the amount of times I've seen it and the amount of impressions it gets when it is resurfaced is just... There's no way it's not in internet history. It's been 12 years. So, thank you for your question, Cordyceps. Our next question is from Careless Statement 172. Thank you for your question. Has anyone you know figured out that it was you without previously knowing? And I said, only through my friends and their friends. It's actually really depressing. I would sometimes meet someone for the first time who was acquainted with someone I knew. The first thing I would say was often, "You're the foot lettuce guy," and I'd be very embarrassed. I knew that in my mind, that would just be who I was forever for that person. Which, that's like a really hard thing to deal with after years and years, is you're excited to meet like a friend of your friend, and you didn't know that they told them, but the first thing they say when they meet you is, "You're that foot lettuce guy." And it's just like, wow, my name's Alex, but yeah. And I understand, it's kind of cool, but like, it's exhausting to deal with as the person who actually is the foot lettuce guy. Thank you for your question. All right, question from Dako Sui. Thank you for your question. I hope I'm saying your name right. Do you still eat at Burger King? Do you have any chance of working for them again? I said, no, I hate Burger King's food. I only ate it when I worked there. Yeah, I think it's gross. I haven't had it in like 10 years. Regarding me working there again, it's interesting. Before I made the video and came out, I tried obtaining my employment records from the Burger King location as more proof to show people. They told me that they don't have any employment records post-termination. I didn't even get a chance to tell them that it's been 12 years. So in theory, I could probably get away with it, but after this video, it probably wouldn't last very long. Yeah, so I wanted to gather as much evidence as I could for that video because I didn't think people would believe me. So I emailed Burger King and I told them I need my records, and they said they're a franchise and I would have to call the actual location. So I called them and the lady goes, yeah, we don't carry any records of any employee post-termination. And I was like thinking to myself, like, what? Like, what do you do for tax purposes? Like what if I had been working here like for 2 months ago or something? I don't know. I think she was misinformed, but that was the general manager, so I really have no idea. And then regarding me working there again, I think that would be a really good video idea. Like, Burger King foot lettuce guy works at Burger King. Oh man, that would be so good. It would be a little risky and really hard for me because of my health, but I'd be willing to do it for you guys for a few, just a couple days, maybe a day or so. It would require an investment on my end though, so we'd have to see where this YouTube thing goes, to be honest, because I would need money for Ubers and whatever, and I would need some kind of small camera. And then also, like, I'm pretty sure in their handbook, they probably say you can't post on social media, but I've seen videos like on TikTok and stuff of people like making burgers and stuff from like with a camera on their chest. So I don't know, maybe you just need their consent, but I would have to figure all that out because I don't really want to get sued. So let me get back to you on that and then we'll shelf that idea. But if you guys want to see that in the future, I'll look into it. Bribo323 says, yeah, we're not going to answer. We're not going to do this one. This was my favorite question out of all of them. Vinyl Emo says, oh, thank you for your question. How does it feel being an internet legend? Is there any pride in it or is it more shame? And I said, it's kind of cool on the surface, knowing that my feet are some of the most famous feet in human history. However, on a more profound level, it's terrible. I know that no matter what great art or invention I created, no matter what I build, I will always be known and addressed as the foot lettuce guy. Imagine your ancestors bled, sweat, cried, and starved, all for your own bloodline to end with you, the foot lettuce guy. I don't even think I need to elaborate on that one. Yeah. Hey there, friend man. Nice name. Is it difficult to go out in public without being recognized? Thank you for your question. I said it was when I still lived in Mayfield Heights. Not immediately, but about a year or two after it went viral, people would come up to me, mostly kids. It was embarrassing. I moved to a different city years later though. Not for that reason, but no one knows who I am besides close friends and family now. Yeah, like about a year or so after it happened, like most people knew it was me. Like I remember there was this one gas station I would always go to get cigarettes and stuff. And I swear like 30% of the time I would go, there'd be like a group of kids on their bike, the same group, and they'd always be like, it's the Burger King foot lettuce guy. Oh, and I would just like die of embarrassment and just get in my car as fast as I could. Lambot9 asks, be honest, how are Burger King's sanitation standards? Thank you for your question. I said, I'm sure it varies from location to location. Back in 2012, Mayfield Heights was exceptionally clean compared to other jobs in the food industry I've had. Whether or not that is still the case, I have no idea. Yeah, from what I remember, they were really clean. Like, we had cleaning duties every day. Nothing really built up or got real bad. The floors were always greasy, but I mean, that happens, I think, in any of those stores, like McDonald's or anything like that with fryers. So yeah, I mean, overall, they were like really clean, especially like relative to other jobs I've had. Like I've worked at different Domino's locations and I've seen some pretty bad stuff, like mold behind the make line, and some stuff can build up and get really bad, but Burger King back then, they were really good about it. Scooty Tootie Poop Pat says, was it expired lettuce? I work at Papa Murphy's and my coworkers and I will do the dumbest shit with expired dough. Way dumber than standing on it. Thank you for your question, and that's quite a name. I said, LOL, no, I had just prepped the fresh lettuce. It was complete product waste. Yeah, I know what you mean about like messing with dough. You can have a lot of fun with expired dough. I'm not gonna lie, when I worked at Domino's, we did some really dumb stuff. But yeah, no, the lettuce was completely fresh and I just completely wasted it. Alright guys, that's all the questions I'm going to answer for this video. I feel these were the most interesting questions, and most of the others I've either answered in this video or the previous one. But if you haven't seen the Reddit post and you're interested, I'll link it down in the description. Thank you so much to all my subscribers. You guys are amazing. You've been so supportive. I love you guys. And if you haven't subscribed, please consider doing so. And I'll see you guys on the next video. Foot Lettuce Guy out.